Hello everyone and welcome to the Week 1 overview for English 1510 Composition 1 at Oakland Community College. This is an online asynchronous course and these particular sections are 12-week. This is Comp 1. It is not necessarily going to be consistent here in the line with the section numbers or term. I do use some of these videos more than one semester at times, particularly overviews for just weekly basics. So you may see a different section number on here, but this is the Comp 1 12-week overview. If we're talking about online asynchronous, which all of you are assigned in, that means that we don't have class meetings where we meet at a particular day and time. It's all here in this environment. Every single week there's an overview video launched right here, Mondays at 8 p.m. that covers the basics for the week. Assignment schedules, as long as you have upcoming events clicked so that the arrow is pointing down, you will see all of the assignments that are already preloaded, and as they are accessible, you can click on them and open and review the contents for your submissions. For instance, memoir summary and outlines not accessible yet because it's not assigned until that date that comes up. So 24th, you'll be able to open that one. The basics that are listed here for week 1, you'll always see a video here next week on Monday. You'll see week 2 overview and it'll be here. And then this week 1 overview will move down into the course schedule, tentative plan of work that's in the announcements and will always be here. Week 1, that video will move to here. Week 2, week 3, week 4. I already have the first 8 launched, so you can see your reading and writing assignments for each week. It means your reading that's assigned out of the textbook typically, and then the submission files, whatever they're going to be. For week 1, you have the FERPA and academic honesty forms. Those are listed up there in that upcoming events that I said, academic honesty and FERPA. Then the other piece is the diagnostic writing that's listed there. Those are writing assignment pieces. I'm sorry, this is a writing assignment piece. These are others are just forms. You click on these and download the forms. Those forms, once you download them, you can just fill these out right on your computer. I don't need them to be handwritten and printed out. Just go ahead and fill these in: course, term, name. You can type it twice. Give me the date. And then for those 2 different forms, this one's for academic honesty. It's covered here and in your syllabus about plagiarism. ChatGPT, Grammarly, those kinds of things. Don't use Grammarly or ChatGPT. Grammarly now has a component that's similar to it, and it does the same thing, so just avoid those and actually do the writing yourself. Same thing with FERPA, it's a communications form. Okay, so fill that out and submit by the end of week 1. The diagnostic writing, you're going to click on your Dropbox, read through the instructions, make an MLA formatted document. Remember, it's just an intro paragraph, 1 body, and a conclusion. 300 words, more or less. Make sure that you follow the formatting. If you need refresher on MLA formatting, click on the link here, and there's an All Purdue page that you can go through the basics again. If you have your textbook already, any version of these textbooks, which I'll review in just a second, any version of these, you can also go through the MLA sections on those. All right. So assignment guidelines are over here on the right-hand side. Sometimes in some of these assignment files, like the memoir and like the rhetorical analysis, you will have additional instructional videos in the Dropboxes. And again, some of those might refer to other semesters or even different years at times, but it's just because it's a similar assignment from prior and some of the videos are reused from time to time. Now, again, the overview video will always be here. Everything for week to week is under announcements, and then assignments again over here under calendar. You can also access all of your assignments right here under assignments. Anything that's been assigned and has an open access date, it's already a link right here that you can click on and it's accessible. You see the ones that are grayed out, not open yet, right? So you can access those there, and then discussion boards are accessible here at the top, or as you can with the other assignment files, you can access them right here. Okay, this lists both. This is listed. This pops up twice. It's the same exact discussion board, and it actually pops up twice because there are 2 options for it in the calendar thing, and I make sure they're both clicked because then it'll show up in 2 different locations. But either one of these, if you click on either one of these, it takes you to the same exact thing, and you click on your class introductions, read through mine and my example, and then you start your own thread. Right? You'll make your own introduction, and then you'll go and respond to one classmate's. That'll be typical for your discussion board. This week it's just introductions. In 2.5 weeks it'll end up being where you're posting a draft of your memoir and then also reviewing and peer reviewing a classmate's memoir. So we'll have a component on those. And I will have those instructions in the weekly overview as well. So again, weekly overviews will pop up here. Everything for assignments will be under here. You can access the assignments and discussion boards both here at the top. There won't be any quizzes for these sections in the online asynchronous, but grades will be listed here under your other tools. I do attendance based. If you read the syllabus, which you are responsible to do, okay, you're responsible for that in online asynchronous courses. Your attendance policy refers to students in asynchronous online courses who do not attend, access the course, or have gradable submitted work by the end of each one of those weeks where there are assignments. If you don't meet those basic requirements of being in here and giving me gradable work each week that it's assigned, that's a non-attendance week for you. You miss attendance. So if something's assigned during the week, there is here that has due dates, and you don't give me these files, right? If you give me one, you still attended for the week, okay? But if you don't give me anything, that's obviously a missed week altogether. So we have that. And then the layout down here under the announcements for the week 1, as I said, this is about course opening. I usually open in 4-week sections. Yours is already open in the first 8. This could be consistent for another term, maybe not, but typically it's 4-week section launches. Near the end of the 3rd into the 4th week, you're going to have the 5 to 8 open. Into the 7th and 8th, you'll have 9 through 12 open, etc., right? It goes pretty consistent for all of mine. The writing assignment and reading schedule in 1510 are designed around writing today, the textbook that's listed at the bookstore and down here below. If I am running in 1520 courses students are taking, and I can't guarantee that term to term, but if you do end up taking me for one, hold on to this book for a while, because I typically use the same book for both sections. We just change assignments. We actually advance on one style of assignment you do here, and then we go into some other ones for that term. Now, this is what's assigned, and it's the 4th edition that's available through the bookstore and through the publisher right now. However, I can work with a number of the used editions. I checked before this class. For a few dollars, you can find brief editions. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I can work with any of those, typically speaking. So get something that's inexpensive of a used one. I don't have a loyalty to anything between bookstore or other online shopping areas for these. Use whatever it is that works best for you. Not the Revel version, and you shouldn't have anything that tells you need an access code from me. Make sure you've read all of this content. Once you have it, make sure that you get it expedited in shipping, so you'll have it here by the time you get to next week's reading. Down below, which this will move up because this is going to disappear next week, but here's your course schedule and tentative plan of work. Everything you're doing for the next 8 weeks, more or less, is laid out below. The notes at the top are a couple things I need you guys to make sure you're aware of first and foremost. Note 1, all contact messaging during this term, D2L instant messaging at the top, and include your course and section number in the message, okay? Your name will already pop up. I need your course and section number. That is the instant messaging envelope right here at the top of the class. That keeps us communicating in the class. I don't go looking for student emails unless we've had communication about other things prior through the instant messaging, particularly in online asynchronous. This gets to be a nightmare with students and their lax adherence to any type of regulated communication. Okay, these emails that I get that have no subject line, or you say hi or whatever else and tell me you're looking for something from my English class. At any given time, I could have 4 to 8 English classes of all different sections and varieties with 100 to 150 students. Okay, so you messaging me hi and asking some question about something you might think that is just your course going over one assignment, there can be multiple stages per class. So I need instant messaging from here, class and section number, and then I'll respond Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays fairly regularly. It's odd if I don't get back to you in those time frames, okay? The emails, if we determine after that we do need to use email communication between you and I, if you send me something via email, the subject line needs to have your first, last, name, course, and section number. Okay? Short statement about what the question is, so I'm clear that this is something for an assignment file for class. Schedule below here on the course schedule, it's tentative because it's subject to change. I wouldn't change anything without notifying students. Once writing assignments are underway, there is the possibility of an overlap between a final submission of one assignment and the starting or summary outline of the next. That can happen right around week 7 and 8 when we start researching. We'll deal with that when we get there. In addition to reading and writing assignments, in later weeks there are also a couple of videos that you have to watch. Those are for research and through the research librarians platforms. I'll get to that in one moment. So here under the course schedule, you'll look at these every week. After a week has passed, the overview video, now hold on to your heads because I'm sliding back up fast. The overview video that's listed here each week, once the week is passed and the new one launches, the old one will be moved down to its respective week. So week 2, you'll have the overview video at that top for week 2, but week 1 will still exist on this overview in the tentative course schedule here with week 1. So this is opening up at 6 p.m. on day 1. Now you will have them typically open Monday by right around 8 p.m. Typically it's not any issue getting there. If anything changes with that, I will notify students right away. Okay, any adjustment. There have been software issues in the past, things that we can't really control. Content overviews, the only reading you have for week 1 is what you're going over now, knowing the page and any of the assignment files. As I said before, FERPA and academic honesty forms, those are both due by this Sunday. The diagnostic essay, that's a short piece, intro, body, conclusion. Make sure it's MLA formatted, submit that by Sunday. The discussion board on here, and the diagnostic, guys, just remember, I just do a basic grade. You get the points as long as I get all the basic requirements and it's MLA formatted and everything else is met on there. And then I tend to use that for a tutoring recommendation. Talk about this during the term, but read your syllabus. Tutoring is required. 1 session for every student in all of my classes. It's an ASC tutoring session. I'll go over that in just a moment. But the diagnostic, I use it to just get a purview of your basic writing skills at the start. Again, don't use any AI or Grammarly or anything else. We will catch you, particularly for my assignments because I've already fed them through the system. But this diagnostic piece on here, I also make tutoring recommendations. So you're signed into, you're registered for Comp 1. We assume that you're registering for this. That means you have no sentence level issues. Grammar, mechanics, style, punctuation, you're good in all those areas. If I see that you're not, and we're going to have a lot of problems in that area, I will make further tutoring recommendations to you. And if you don't adhere to them, I can't force you to, but you shouldn't be in a class like a Comp 1 if you need that type of supplemental support and you're expecting from me to do a line-by-line grading of everything you submit every week or every few weeks. That's not going to happen in a Comp 1. You need a remediation course. Okay? If I see the need for those things, I'll recommend tutoring. Having said that, again, everyone must do 1 session. You can go through the Academic Support Center under Student Services here. Click on that link. It'll take you externally to this page. And down here, the tutoring services are listed. You can submit to them. In your tuition, you're already entitled to 2 sessions per week of half-hour sessions. So you will get extra credit from me for all of them, including the one that's required. And there's a Dropbox under assignment files that are for the confirmation forms for those all term. Just make sure that when you get it from the tutoring service, you submit it to here and it's got your name and the confirmation on that form. Just tell them you need that for submission here. I will give everyone extra credit for even the one that's required. And then every student that does more than that, the number that you submit into this file, that's the number of extra credit points that you'll get. And I will add them to whatever assignment file gives you the most increase of grade at the end of the semester. The other things in week 1, guys, make sure you've read all of this, watch the overview video, and make sure that you've gone through the content file and you read and understood the syllabus. The research videos that I said you'll have to watch later in term are listed here. General course documents are here. Okay? Make sure you read and understood it. Look forward to working with you guys. Welcome to English.